Hi, this is Nabi. In the last videos, I showed you how you can create a container for the SAP Cloud Connector and another one for the ABAP Trial Edition. Now it's time to show you how you can securely connect your on-premise ABAP system running in the Docker container to your SAP Cloud Platform account. And don't forget again, both of them, SAP Cloud Connector and the ABAP system, are running in separate Docker containers here on my MacBook Pro, so they're running on localhost. The ABAP system running in a Docker container can be considered as an on-premise ABAP system. Okay, so for that purpose, let's go and start Docker first of all, which I have already done right here. And after Docker is installed, we're going to start the Cloud Connector container and the ABAP container. So this works with docker start -i NW ABAP 7.51. So this is the one for ABAP, and now we have to start the UID daemon. That's very important. After this, we change the user and PLADEM, and here we can call start SAP, and now our SAP our SAP system inside that already running container is now starting. Let me open another tab right here, and we start the Cloud Connector container. So this is docker start SAPCC, and this one is started now. Now the Cloud Connector still needs some time to show up. Let me open the browser. So this is the Cloud Connector. Oops. Right here. It still needs some time to show up. Okay, now it's there. My user is administrator, and this is the one you're going to use. I changed the password to admin. Here we go. So this is what I have so far. All this was configured in the last one of the last videos. So now let's click right here on Cloud to on-premise, and what we want to do now is we want to add a system mapping right here. Pressing that button, it's an ABAP system. We have several options right here, and we are going to choose HTTPS. And the internal host is the one that we have used when we created our Docker container. This is the one, where is it? Let me check, this one. So this is what I'm going to take now. Oops. And the port is 44300, so this is the standard port for HTTPS on ABAP, and that's the internal host. Next, we can choose a virtual host. This is the one that you can see in the Cloud Platform account. So let's choose here NW ABAP 7.51 maybe, and then we say next. Principal type, well, there's none. We don't really care. We could choose some items here. We do that later. And then we could give it also this description. Now I'm just going to leave this one here empty and say next. I press this here and say finish. Now as you can see, it's not reachable, and there's a reason for that. Our ABAP system has in the meanwhile started up. Let me check if it's really accessible. By going to SAP GUI, I could also call the ping service. Now I'm opening the SAP GUI. Yep, that looks good. Developer, appliance, okay, good. So everything works fine here, and the reason why it's not accessible right here, I can check this here again, is because the containers are running but they don't know each other. To fix this, we're going to create a Docker network right now. So for that, we go to our command line interface and type docker network create SAP trial maybe. So that's the name of our network. We hit return, and that's the network. But that's still not the end, because if we press this button, you'll see nothing's going to happen. So what we need to do is we need to add our containers to that network. And in that case, we want to call our ABAP server from our cloud containers. That means we have to make our ABAP server available on the network. I have documented this right here, by the way, so you can scroll down and get all the commands from here. And the name of our ABAP container is the one right here, as you already know. So that's what we're going to do. Let me copy the well, let me just copy. This is actually what we need. And then we go back to our command line interface. We just say Docker Network Connect, and we give it an alias, which is the host name in that case. And the network name is SAP Trial. So we're going to make this server available on the SAP Trial network under this alias. And then we say return, and here we go. Next, we have to add our SAP Cloud Connector container to the same network as well. So we're going to say SAPCC, and this time the host name we chose when we started the container was my SAPCC, so that's what we were going to use here as the alias. Hit return, and that's it. Now we go back to the Cloud Connector and try the connection. And guess what? It works just fine. Next, let's make all resources available here under HTTPS, and that should be working by simply pressing here that button, let's say slash, and then path and all subpaths, and say save. This is it now here. Now we go to the Principal Propagation tab right here, and then we press right here. What you can see here is a list of identity providers or apps acting as identity providers that are available on your SAP Cloud Platform account. Now I'm going to choose which ones I want to trust, and here the SAP ID service, of course. I'm going to trust this one, maybe this one, and what else do I have here? Nothing for me. So just do the same thing, and then we're going to say save, and that's it for now. Next, we want to go to configuration right here. And then we go to on-premise right here, and as you can see, this one here is empty, and there is nothing in here neither. And there's even a warning. So what we want to do is we're going to fix this right now by creating a system, creating the certificates that we need for that. There are some instructions I have added for you right here. This is how you can easily create those certificates. So this is what I'm going to do next. So let me just go here, type in this. So I'm just creating that document. I'm just downloading this file here. Here we go. And inside that folder, I'm going to execute a few commands right now. So this one, for example. And here I'm choosing SAPCC as a password. SAPCC again. Here we go. Next, we execute this right here. SAPCC. And then I'm choosing DE for the country, and then BW for Baden-Württemberg. Fill in here whatever you want. Here I'm using NPL, which is our ABAP system. And next I'm just choosing SAPCC, SAPCC again, and here my host name, which is my SAPCC, and email, well, I don't need that. Here we go. And next we just do this one here. SAPCC was the password, SAPCC again, and another one, 3 times the same password. Now I'm going to execute these commands right here. And after that, we're doing this one. Here we go. So now we're going to choose this one first, then we're choosing DEBW, and here, as you remember, we chose NPL, and then SAPCC, SAPCC again, and then my SAPCC. Just hit return and again, and then password is SAPCC. That's it. Then we do this one. SAPCC. That's it. And the last one. Here we go. SAPCC. SAPCC. That's it. Now, if I have a look at what we've actually created, and well, what's actually important for us is only this one, and we need also this one. So these are the two that we actually want. I'm going to take these files, And let me just put them right here into download folder so that I can access them easily later. You can skip all these steps here and go directly to this repository under certs, and then you can see that I have uploaded a few things here. So this is the file that we downloaded, and these two files here are the ones that we have generated here via command line interface. You can just download them and use them if, for example, the commands don't work for you. Okay, this is it. Now we go back to our Cloud Connector, and we want now to upload the intermediate certificate right here. So I'm going to browse and choose downloads, and this is the intermediate certificate right here. Password was SAPCC. I hit import. That's it, number one. We do the same thing now for the CA certificate right here. So we just say upload here, choose again the intermediate certificate right here. The password was SAPCC, import, and here we go. Now in the next step we're going to create a sample certificate, but let's postpone this for now, because what we do next is we have to go to our to our sub GUI and do a few things in SAP. So I got already connected to sub GUI. So what we do here now is we go to strust. Okay, then we open Service Standard, and then where is it? System-wide right here, and this is what we have. Now we scroll down, and there's a button right here saying Import Certificate. We press that button, and then we choose our CA certificate right here. We say Open, and then we confirm that, and well, here we go. And that's bad because I forgot to press that button right here. So I'm going now to say add to list. Now this list here is populated, and now we're going to save that. Okay, this was now step one. Next we go to the transaction RZ10 because we need to change a few profile parameters. What we actually want to do is we want to configure what certificates actually will be trusted based on subject and issuer. So for that case, before you continue, this is very important now. If you don't do this, then you might have the problem to correctly starting up your SAP system from the Docker container in a later step. So do the following by now pressing here Utilities, Import Profiles of Active Service. And then something is happening. Don't worry about what you see here, but this is here very important. Okay. Next, what we do is we just choose our profile. We choose this one right here, and then extend it, and then we're going to say change. Now we create a new parameter right here. Here we want to create 3 profile parameters right now. The first one is ICM HTTPS, and then we just say star, hit F4, and I choose the first one, the issuer right here. And for the value, we go back to our Cloud Connector right here, to the certificates, and we copy from the CA certificate, we copy the issuer right here, and then we paste it in here. That's it. Very important to change the ST to SP, because that's what ABAP wants. Now we hit copy 2 times, and then we go back. Looks good. Another one we have to create, which is ICM HTTPS star F4, and this time we choose the subject. And then again, for the value, we go back to the Cloud Connector right here. We copy this value, and then we paste it in here. And here again, ST is SP in ABAP. Hit return. Hit copy 2 times. Go back. The next one we create is login cert rule-based, and the value for that is 1, because this will now allow us to map SAP Cloud Platform users to our ABAP users automatically. So here we go. I say copy again. Now I go back. Okay, this is what we have, and let's go back one more time. Now it's going to ask me to be saved. I say yes. Here we go. Pressing the save again. Don't worry about the errors here. Just say no right here. Do you want to activate the profile? Yes, please. Let's do that. It's activated. Okay, this is just an information. We don't worry about this. Okay, inconsistencies. Do you want to perform a consistency check? No, we don't care. Here it is. Okay, next, what we want to do is let's go to our transaction RZ11. We're going to set ICM HTTPS. It's something with verify. I don't remember. Oh, verify client right here. That's the one we want to have a look at, and the value for this one, it should be 1. So let's see it. Yep, looks good. And the next one we want to check is, again, this is something we've actually already done, which is, let me see, ICM HTTP. Oh, this is the wrong one. It's login. Sorry, it's login. Cert, something like that. Yeah, certificate mapping rule based. Let's have a look at this. Okay, we're going to change the value from 0 to 1, which actually will be taken over immediately without having to restart a server. Okay, so I'm going to say save, change made, good. And for the other parameters, we do have to start the server, which is SMICM. SMICM, I think I had a typo right here. And then we can simply go to administration, ICM, hard shutdown, and then we simply choose global right here. We say yes in here, and that's it. And next we can check this by going to go to, and then we say parameters and display. Let's see if our parameters are now in here somewhere. Oh, here we go. So this one. So everything is in here, and that looks just fine. Next, before we continue, we want to go to the transaction SU01 and to the transaction SU01, and let's create the same user that we have in our Cloud Platform account. So it's basically your P user without the trial in the end, if you have a trial account. So for my case, I just go in here, and from here or from the URL, so I can copy it also from the URL, but without the trial, I'm taking that, going back to the sub GUI, paste it in here. That's my user. And in here, I'm now going to say, it's without a trial, and I'm going to say create. I'm choosing the last name, which is Zamani. Oh, maybe. Oh, that's okay, Zamani. And my first name right here. If I hit return, this is populated. I could also type in the email address, maybe something navi.zamani@dummy.com, probably. Okay, so this is the email, and now let's just go also to the profiles, and because that's our user and we want to do everything, we just give it SAP all. That's it. Let's hit return. Oh, initial password, logon data. Yeah, we just say this, and then we say save, and here we go. Okay, now we've created a user. And with that, we go now to the transaction called cert rule, which is the transaction for rule-based certificate mapping, which basically makes sure that our Cloud Platform users are mapped to our SAP users automatically. So, okay, here we go. Let's press edit. And after that, we want to import a sample certificate, which we need to download first from our Cloud Connector, and this is the step that we're going to do. Let me reload to see if my session, yeah, still there. Here we go to on-premise again. Now here, the principal propagation here, I can go to that button and press create a sample certificate. And in here, I'm going to type in again my cloud user ID, so the one without the trial. I press the generate button, and then a file is downloaded. And this is exactly the file that we want to upload here, to import here by pressing this button. I go to downloads. I choose this one right here. Here we go. So we've got it in here now. And next, we press the rule button in here, and what we want to do is we want to change the value right here to Cn equals the value that is offered. Okay, let's hit return, and that looks actually pretty good now. Next, we want to press the extended button right here, and let's just ignore case sensitivity, and then we're going to hit return. And once we're done here, we can just save the changes and have a look at this here. I save the changes, and now everything looks green. Okay, this is it for now. Next, we go to the SAP Cloud Platform because we want to create destinations now. But before we do that, maybe you want to create some test data as well. I have documented this, so what you can do is there's actually a transaction. This one right here, you just hit that, and this is for creating some test data, the EPM data generator. And then another one, which is a report. Oh, here it is, the SAP BC data generator. So you can just execute this one, press that button, and then you'll get also some test data generated here as well. Okay, so this is it. Now we go to my account right here in the Cloud Platform. This is my trial account. Let me reload. Okay, here we go. And now we press here, new destination. I have documented everything pretty much right here. So what we actually do is we're going to just copy the values from here. So this is So this is basically the name, the name that I chose. And the type is correct, so we're using HTTP here. And then we could also give it a description. I typically use something like, here, this one here. And now we have to find out what URL to use. And for that, we're choosing this one and paste it in here. And next one is, this is an on-premise system, basic authentication, that's the user, and we've got that right here. So that means we change that one to on-premise, and it's basic authentication, developer, and hard-coded password. And then we add also a few values here. You can see actually what you need if you scroll down here. So first of all, web ID usage. You can Google and see what that's for. Here we go. And then we want another one, which is web ID system, which is NPL. And then you can see we have also web ID enabled set to true. So it's web ID enabled, we set it to true. And then we have this value, we set it to 300. You don't have to do all that, but this is what I'm going to use. And then we're just going to hit the save button right here. Here we go. Now let's press the check connection right here. Oh, that works perfectly. Now, how does that work? Well, this is the virtual host that we used when we created our mapping in the Cloud Connector. And this one you can actually also see here on the Cloud Connector. So if you go to Cloud Connectors, then you can see exactly what we have. This is the one. Okay. So we have created this item, but this is basic authentication with a hard-coded password and a hard-coded user. So let's create another one, and this works by clicking here and then pressing the clone button. And then we're using this time this one here, So it's basically the same, but with Principal Propagation in the end. And it's also HTTP here. Yep, we can use also this description, which is the same, but PP right here actually. And this one here stays the same. And then we're going to use, as you can see, the proxy type is on-premise, but this time we use Principal Propagation for authentication. So we take this, instead we change that right here. And as you can see, there is no need to add a user or a password anymore. So here we go. Now I say save. So it was saved. Let's check the connection. That works perfectly as well. Now, how can we test if things really worked? This works by going to our web IDE. Let me do that right now. So I'm going to the services, search for web. Well, here it is, web ID. Don't use the web ID right here on the left side. That's the old one. This is the cool one, the web ID full stack. And then we're just going to say go to service. If it's not enable it, enable it. And this is also the link that you can actually save. I have it here. Okay, so here's my full stack web ID. Let's click here on my workspace and say new project from template, master detail. Next, we choose just a name, choose whatever you want. And here we could choose any of our destinations that we created in our Cloud Platform account. I'm going to choose now the one for Principal Propagation. And that works just fine. Now this is strange because we actually had here in our Cloud Connector, we defined here principal type none. However, that still works. Let's fix this back. Let's fix this now to X509 certificate to be safe here. And still the connection should work. Yeah, that works fine. And yeah, so here I can see now everything that all of the OData services that are available for me. I'm going to use one of them. So this is the catalog service that was called. We know, let's choose the business partner. So let's create a list demo of business partners. Demo object right here. What is the business partner? Object title. Probably something like oh, company name sounds good. Okay, here we go. And maybe we also want to have, no, I think that's okay. Now we go here to the line items. What do we have? Contacts sounds good. And the title, what do we have here? Let's choose the email address. Say next. And finish. Now I say run in the web IDE. I choose FFP sandbox. Say go ahead. Oh, I gotta always allow. Done. And I have to do it again. Sorry. I just cleared my cache. If you have any issues, you should also clear your browser cache. Right here. And here we go. So these are all the business partners that I have. And these here are the emails. And if I click them, everything works just fine. So that was pretty easy. Our application is currently only living within the web IDE. To make it available for all users, we have to deploy it to the SAP Cloud Platform first, and then we can add the application to a Fiori Launchpad. Let's create a Fiori Launchpad first by clicking Tools and going to SAP Cloud Platform Cockpit right here. And then we choose the services and search for the portal service. And then we click the portal service tile and then we choose Go to Service. Now we can simply create a new site by pressing the Create New Site button right here. We give it a name, SAP Trial for example. We choose SAP Fiori Launchpad next and create and press the Create button. Now, what I like to do first is go here to Settings, choose Edit, and then we give it an alias, which is SAP Trial. So that's going to be the link under which we can simply call we can easily call our Fiori Launchpad, and then we hit Save. If you check the catalog, the catalogs here, we have only one sample catalog and we have also one sample group. That's fine for us. And we have under roles, everyone role and anonymous role. Under apps, there's nothing so far. And now we want to change this, but we do this from within the web IDE. And that works by right-clicking on the application and choosing Deploy to SAP Cloud Platform. Just hit Deploy. Now it takes a few seconds. Here we go. And now we can also decide to register this application to the Fiori Launchpad by pressing the button right here. Now we can give it a name, for example, my description. We choose how the intent-based navigation should look like. So we're choosing MD as a semantic object, and we have an action display. Very stupid, but works for us. Next, we choose here my tile, and as I type, you can see how the tile is changing here. And here's my subtitle. My subtitle is changing, and we have an icon. This is the tile that you will see in the Fiori Launchpad. Next, and now we can simply choose, for example, here the site, and we just created the Fiori Launchpad site right here called SAP Trial. We're going to choose it. And then we have the catalog. Per default, it was already pre-selected for us, which is the SAP sample catalog. And then we have the SAP sample group, the sample group right here. Say next, and finally hit finish. And now we want to open the Fiori Launchpad directly by clicking here. And it opens our Fiori Launchpad with the tile we just configured. The site is accessed by the site ID. I'm going to show you how you can change that in a second. And now we press that button right here. And here we go. That's our application, which is now using our destination with Principal Propagation, connecting to the Cloud Connector. And from there, it goes to our on-premise SAP Trial ABAP system. And that one is running in Docker, just like the Cloud Connector is running in Docker. Now I can choose the items, and the email addresses here change as well. So that was pretty easy. And this is a real Fiori Launchpad. Quite cool right here. And I'm logged in, of course. Now let me close that and go to the site right here. Where is it? Right here. And if I go back to the settings, here's the link. So this is the link that was opened for me. Now I make a right click, open a new tab, and guess what? That works just fine. Here we go. I can choose the application, and that's it. Okay, so this is it for now. Now, it's very interesting because actually we want to create applications, and not everyone should see every application. So some applications should only be accessible by people in a certain role, and other applications need or require other roles. And this is what we actually want to change. And actually we're talking here not about applications, we're talking about the groups and catalogs in which we place applications. And here we can also define what roles are required to see a certain catalog or group. So this is what we want to do in one of the next tutorials. However, there's a big question. How do we actually get all our users from the SAP backend, from our Docker container, to the Cloud Platform? And how can we make sure that they get the right and expected roles assigned here in the Cloud Platform so that they only see what they really are supposed to see? So stay tuned for the next tutorials. Cheers!